everyone. Welcome to Real Estate with Ryan. So excited to be with you on this Saturday, October 25th. It's a big day. Big day. A lot of the real estate news going on in the real estate market, and thank you for tuning in. I've got a great show for you. Hope everybody's had an amazing week. It's been a crazy weekend last weekend. If everybody had a chance to experience that, I'll talk a little football, but I mean, what an amazing game last week. We had a chance to go. Wasn't going to sure if we were going to go, but we went. Glad I didn't miss it. Thanks to my wife. Make sure that we didn't go, but I almost didn't make it. But we went and we enjoyed it. Everybody had a great time. Thanks to all our winners that had a chance to go to the games. You can check us up on our social media and our postings. Just some great pictures there. Great times. Great to be involved. It's great to be in the East Tennessee housing market. A lot going on in the real estate news, so we got a good show for you. We're starting off pretty quick. Before I get started, it's always a family show. Today's a special day. It's my daughter's birthday. Little daughter, Kinsley. She's going to turn 10. So a special day. You know, proud daddy. Hard to believe my kids are getting older and, you know, try not to get choked up here on the air. But, you know, she's turning 10. Special day today. And so shout out to my baby girl's birthday. Happy birthday. So from everybody here. And on top of that, we got some real estate news, right? Got some real estate news. Let's talk about the housing market. As always, the median price of existing home sales in September was $404,500, an increase of 3% over a year. Inventory rose 1.5% a month to a 1.39 million homes for sale at the end of September. Previously, homes sell about 1% less in September compared to August. A seasonally adjusted rate of 3.84 million units is the slowest pace since October 2010. According to the National Association of Realtors, sales were 3.5% lower in September of 2023. Sales fell out of the region, U.S. regions, with just the West region seeing a gain. Okay, the count is based as representing the closings on July and August. Rates are down about a 1% point from last year. Okay, so rates were about 7%. We're down about 6.5%. And we're seeing about a 4 million on pace record for the year home sales. So a lot going on there. We got current inventory, about 4.3 months inventory of supply. So that means if we'd never sold another home on the market, a lot of people say, Ryan, how long does it take me to sell my home? So if another home's never listed, we've got currently 4.3 months of supply of inventory. Now that's higher, 23% higher than September, but still 4.3 months of inventory. To let everybody know, a normal market is somewhere about 6%, where it's buyer and seller. So we're seeing an increase in inventory, but it's not over the top. Kind of go through some of our numbers, I think, here in the Knoxville housing market, which I thought is important. So our inventory, kind of give you some stats here. Our active housing market inventory in the Knoxville market, and that's the Knoxville DMA, right? That's 5,895. So that inventory is up. So we have 5,895 homes on the market. Currently got about 1,091 pending and sold for the month of October so far, 825. All right. Our Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac rates are 6.44, 30-year fixed, and then our 15-year is 5.63. Average days on market's about 42, between 42 and 50. And of course, the Knoxville housing market average price sold is about $510,874. So, you know, we're a little bit above the national average on the median sales price. Our days in market is right in line. And more inventory is a good thing, right? More inventory is a good thing. Gives buyers and consumers more properties to view before making a decision. Distressed properties made up only about 2% of transactions in September. And believe it or not, cash is always king. 30% of sales were made up in September were cash. And so that's kind of surprising. 26% of first-time buyers, which is tough, right? Affordability, inflation, everything that's going on pulled back some. And there were about 26% less of first-time buyers in September. So that's kind of the real estate news in the housing market. What's going on? What are we experiencing? We've got a good show for you. Start planning for 2025. It's hard to believe. You know, October's pretty much over, and planning on selling in 2025. The presidential election, all that's going to be out the way. We're expecting rates to have some adjustment, but who knows where that goes. But if you're needing to move, need to buy, need to sell, or you're relocating to our great state of East Tennessee, we've got plans. We're going to help you. We'll talk about that and what to expect on planning to sell your house in 2025 and moving forward. So let's see. Let's talk about that a little bit. So if you're planning on selling 2025, your goal will be like a lot of people in today's housing market, watching affordability. What's on the market. The biggest challenge that we have here as a consumer is to start thinking about buying. And I was talking to one of my great clients the other day, and I said, you know what? We were actually lucky to buy at the right time, because now I look out my window. We're in Hardin Valley, and everybody's just building and building. And it doesn't seem like the prices are changing much. So if you're thinking about that time, we had a survey with sellers. 47% of sellers are taking longer to get their home on the market. So taking longer. I talked about it. My daughter's birthday today, special day. And we know how long it takes just you parents, right, just to get the party ready, right? So we're having kids at the house and a lot of our friends and family, and that's a process. But let's think about how about getting the home on the market, and why starting early is key. Because just to get a birthday together is an act of Congress. Imagine getting your house on the market. You've got kids, you've got dogs, you've got a busy life, right? We got a lot of things going on. And so starting early now, that's why I thought this show would be great. Talking about how we can get there, prepare. Starting early is key. Obviously, if you go with us, we probably, we sold back years ago. And one of the biggest things we worked on, as probably most families, is declutter. And it's still one of the biggest things that we're going to focus on helping with if you're thinking of selling. So decluttering is an opportunity to start that process now, especially when you're changing seasons. Consider that as a value, and get a storage unit. We had to do the same thing. Get the stuff out, get the Christmas trees out, clear up some space. It opens up rooms and things like that, and you can start working on those things. And then importantly, start looking at repairs. There are some important repairs before putting your home on the market. If you move too fast and buyers see right through the fact that maybe you skip some important renovations or repairs, it may also cost you time, money, and more importantly in this market, right, guys, it could cost you a sale. I've got some ideas, and this article has some ideas, some of the most common seller improvements that you can make. And you say, well, what's the most bang for my dollar, Ryan? What's the most bang for my buck, right? Well, obviously, kitchens and baths rank on the top of the list. But believe it or not, some of the repairs, 46% of most common seller improvements, are going to start on your interior. Well, that's perfect. Ryan, fall's coming, winter's coming. I can get those projects done. 46% in interior. Then they went down to 42%, starting in the bathrooms, kitchens and baths. We have a great seller that we put our house on the market. They thought about redoing the cabinets, doing all this money and things like that, and I'm glad we stopped them from doing that. They changed the backsplash. They changed out the appliances to stainless, and still had a great look without spending all the extra money of resurfacing the cabinets and things like that. And so they're glad they did as well. So not always do we need to change everything out, but baths are big. Kitchens, landscape, 35% starting landscape. Now is a perfect opportunity if you're thinking fall going into the winter. Fresh mulch, get the mums, decor, it's big. We always say, listen, on landscape, we have the online presentation. We have your online, how it shows online to all our out-of-state buyers, and we start that process. But believe it or not, we're still in the market of where if I want to live in a neighborhood or a subdivision, I'm going to do the old drive-by. And I'm going to drive by the home, I'm going to look at the neighbors, and then I'm going to check out the curb appeal. And something about having that curb appeal and inviting that if a home is maintained outside, it's probably going to be maintained on the inside, and it gives that warm, inviting appeal. Remember, guys, we're selling somebody to their new home. Their new family is going to move to where you guys have created memories. So it's important to have that right presentation on the front end. So that's really big. Painting interior. I know if you've got kiddos like me, 28% says paint interior is a big, big item. Painting the interior is not only a must, but sometimes when you have new people coming in, you got to touch up the hallways, kiddos and doors and things like that. New appliances, if you got the old white appliances, or sometimes you need to change those out, that's a plus. 26% say new appliances. Now, we'll talk about roof at 22%. That's really probably not an appeal factor, and we'll talk more about that here in a second, and decor. And we say decorate. As we're coming up here in the second half, we got decor and decorate. Well, depending on the season, and this is our favorite time with the fall going into the holidays, having your home decorated for the holidays just has a special touch. Get buyers in. We know that there's less buyers looking during this time frame, so having your house ready in decor or have it Christmas ready or Thanksgiving ready gives a warm and inviting appeal, makes buyers feel warm, happy. They want to stay longer on the showing. That's all important things. And then some of our cabins that we have coming on the break. Well, stay with us here just a second. We got a second half coming with Real Estate with Ryan. We'll be right back.
Success always comes down to the details. It takes repetition, hard work, and a defined strategy to be elite. Real estate is no different. It takes preparation and a solid game plan to achieve the best results. On the field, I can cover some real estate. Off the field, look to Ryan Coleman and the team at Hometown Realty. They're Tennessee's agent.
Thanks, Brew. Go Big Orange.
Hometown Realty is East Tennessee's #1 real estate group and a proud sponsor of the Vols.
I'm Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty. The real estate market's changing every day. You need to know your home's value in today's market. Text your home address to 290-2290 for an instant, no-obligation home evaluation. That's 865-290-2290. And remember, when you're ready to sell, we have a guaranteed sale program to get you in your next home stress-free. Trust your hometown experts. We've helped thousands of people just like you. All right, we're back at it. Second half, Real Estate with Ryan. It's coming in hot on that one. Not enough time to get all that out, but appreciate you staying with us. And if you're tuning in for the first time, this is Real Estate with Ryan. We talk a little real estate. We always cover Knoxville, East Tennessee housing market, buying, selling, what's going on in the market. We try to get you back and have you covered. You can always catch us on News Talk 98.7 at 1 o'clock or Talk Radio at 92.3 FM at 11 a.m. And, of course, all your social media channels, we're out there streaming, Facebook, X, YouTube, you name it. We got you covered. So get right into it before we get going. We got some congrats that we didn't have on the second half of the show, so I don't want to forget my favorite people, new listings here. So we got some new listings out on Green Hill Road out in Dandridge. We got 3 lots that are opportunities. One of those lots is a new construction build, custom build your dream home. And we got 2 other lots that has some acreage, privacy, right close to the lake. Make sure you get those before they go. They won't last long. Allison Drive in Harriman, property is coming soon. Make sure you check that property out. Pond Haven Drive in Sevierville, new listing coming. Make sure you check that property out. Then some land in Tennessee National, golf course lot. Make sure you check that out on Mockingbird Lane. That's going to hit the market next week. So then some land out in Tellico Plains, 28 acres, 431 Lick Creek Road in Tellico. Make sure you check that property out. And then, of course, we've got another lot that's coming there in Tennessee National. Congrats to our favorite seller on Ridgefield Drive, one of our great clients out there, investment property. Put that under contract for him. And our solds here, Henrietta Drive in Knoxville. Congrats to you, great sellers. And then 415 South Chamberlain Avenue. Congrats on the sale of your house in Rockwood. And then Covered Bridge, the Rivs. Appreciate you guys so much in Hardin Valley. Covered Bridge sale. Appreciate you in your move. And then your sale on Ashland Lane. Congrats to the sellers on that one. So a lot going on. Still busy in October. So many things going on in the housing market. Before we get into that, we got our 60-second ball update, and we'll get right back into the show. All right, drum roll, please. Well, if you weren't watching, you probably saw on social media that the Tennessee Volunteers put a smackdown on Bama in the house. It was an amazing game, 24-17. I won't even go over the stat lines, but if you were there, you got your money's worth, and it was an amazing game. Both goalposts go down. I'm so glad I didn't miss that game, and it's so great to be a Vol. I mean, everybody's on cloud 9. What a big win. Florida, Alabama in the same year. Defense is amazing. Great stats. Next game is going to be Kentucky. We're sending you. All you've got to do, like our social channels. We had some great clients and potential fans that went, and we were glad to see them. Check our social media. You got some great smiling faces. They had an amazing time, and we want to send you guys just like, share, and follow our pages. All you got to do to win, and Hometown Realty sending you 2 parking passes this time. 2 parking passes, 2 tickets, courtesy of Hometown Realty, and signed autograph memorabilia from Brew McCoy. So like, share, and follow. All you got to do, go Big Orange. And that is our 60-second update. Hometown Realty, proud sponsor of the Vols. Go Big Orange. All right, we're back to the show. So much going on, but an amazing week. And I know you guys had a blast. I saw all of you guys on social media really watching the game and having a blast. It's so good. So good for our economy. I think the Chancellor was talking about, this is a side note, but goes into real estate. And I think it's important we talk about it. The last time we beat Bama, there were 60,000 applications after that game. I think they're admitting each new year about 6,000. So as more eyes, more is on our area, more coverage from the news, there's already lots of reasons to love East Tennessee and make it home, right? And a lot of people are relocating that and found that in during the COVID. But now, from our men's baseball team, our basketball team, just the program as a whole, it brings a lot of growth, a lot of job opportunities, and a lot of eyeballs on East Tennessee. And that affects the housing market. It affects the whole economy here. And so it's just a great thing to be involved, number one, if you're sports fans, but it's also great for our economy, the housing market, and so many people coming in here. So we're all excited about that and had a great time, and hope you guys did as well. Getting back on subject, if you're thinking about selling this year, we're talking about planning to sell in 2025, why you may need to get moving on that. I was just talking on the first half, just to plan a birthday party for my daughter was eventful. So imagine getting your home on the market now with the market taking a little bit longer than we expected. Getting an opportunity now to work on some of these things will have you out in front of some of those tips. First half, we went over some of those items to talk about, but some of those items that are not just your minor kitchen items or things to think about. I wrote down some notes. I said, well, let's talk about the big ticket items. So if we're selling now, let's be in a position to look at these items. Number one is roof. And one of the biggest challenges in the roofing industry, and just like any other industry, is getting the right quote, getting the fair quote that is honest. So when you look at your roof, most times you're going to expect to have lenders require at least 2 years life on your roof. If you have anything less than 2 years, some banks won't even finance it. So you can go ahead and expect that needs to be replaced. But there's a gray area between 5 years and 2 years. So you want to make sure that if you have at least a substantial amount of life left on your roof, that you have that checked or evaluated. Now, of course, there's a balance between finding a roofer that will tell you where you need to be and then maybe want to replace the roof. So those are game time decisions. Get a couple quotes, look exactly to see what's needed, get pictures, and those are decisions that you need to make. But you may find that roofing issue comes up on a home inspection. So if you think you're going to have to replace it, it's better to start shopping bids now than we wait to a home inspection where you've got to move out of state, buyer's got a plan to move into your home, and guess what? We've got to find a roofer to coordinate all that in a couple of weeks and then take a bid that might not be advantageous to us, right? So make sure we're watching our numbers on these big ticket items. Our HVAC is another item. So when we come into an inspection, check these HVACs. Make sure you're having them serviced. A lot of my clients have them serviced on routine maintenance. It's great. Have your letters ahead of time. So when we list the property, or we can provide those to the buyers that they've been serviced, along with the hot water tanks and things like that. Your big ticket items are important. And your foundations. Most people don't really think about it. Check your foundations, any kind of cracking, blocking, things like that. I know we're working on 2 right now. One was mine that we sold. One is another customer that he didn't realize where he knew about it and needed to be addressed. He didn't think anything of it. These are big items, and the foundation industry and that industry is another item that you want to shop and make sure that you have your right quotes and your right repairs if needed, right? Because these are big things: foundation, mold, roof, big ticket items on a market and an economy that is challenging at most to see them right now. And so the last thing you want to do is that we're seeing more contracts fall out than we've seen in a long time. So going into 2025, let's shore up these items. Let's look at these items. If there's something to be repaired, have that opportunity and renovations and things like that ahead of time. It's key. Big ticket items just can have a big impact. Work with your agent on that. It's so key. Work with your agent on that. Teamwork. I always encourage you guys, if you're thinking about buying or selling, I know that you don't need to do it right this second, but if it's coming in 2025, have us out. We've got plenty of time to work with you. Have that appointment. Call our office. Our number is 693-SOLD, 693-SOLD. Call us at any time, and we'll have that appointment to even walk you through to give you some ideas and tips, things that you may not see that we see all the time that will help you make an informed decision. So when you're ready to put your home on the market, we've got all of our bases covered. You got a game plan. You met a great agent in the marketplace, but at least have some other opinions and what you need to do. So when, before you know it, first of the year will be here, and guess what? You'll be ready to make some moves and things you need to do. Let's see. How long will it take to sell? I know that's what we're talking about now. Everybody in the market. Ryan, I expect my house gone like it was a couple of years ago. Well, obviously, we went over in the first half. Our days on market's up a little bit. Inventory's picked up 4.3 months of supply. So the good thing about that is buyers have a little more choices. The bad thing about sellers, it's still not a high supply rate, but new construction is a very big competition factor right now. Most people are not talking about it. The new construction costs are lowering. They're lessening the build, lessening options, and our competition is key. So keep that in mind in the marketplace. Pricing is key. When you start in the housing market, some of the most important thing is hiring an agent that's in your corner, working with marketing and teamwork. I think most importantly, the experience that you're going to face going through this changing market is key. Where are we going to expect 2025 and next year to go? I'd be wrong to say, hey, I knew exactly what the market will be, and I think we don't know. I think we do know that the election will be over. I think it's forecasted that rates will adjust to some degree, although we've seen rates increase. And a lot of that comes with the national debt, things like that. We won't get into that kind of story, but it's going to be a market that's going to be shifting. You're going to need an agent in your corner that's going to walk you through, kind of start this process early so you're prepared for the spring market or even the first part of the year. I also think one of the biggest factors affecting your plan is the interest rates. So affordability, you're going to want to watch those, and you're going to want to be able to be ready to put your house on the market when you're ready. So I hope you've enjoyed the show. Always love being with you guys. Thank you for tuning in to Real Estate with Ryan. We'll see you next weekend. Have an amazing week.